Introducing Tina Swithin and the business of advocacy. Tina Swithin, a self-proclaimed advocate for domestic violence victims, has built a career on sharing her experiences. She claims to empower parents, particularly mothers, navigating the tumultuous waters of custody battles and domestic violence. Swithin's platform, One Mom's Battle, positions her as a beacon of hope, offering guidance and support. However, a closer look reveals a dissonance between her rhetoric of selfless advocacy and her critique of other professionals who charge for their services. Swithin charges for her services, a decision that has ignited accusations of hypocrisy. Swithin's story resonates with many. She speaks of enduring the pain of domestic violence, fighting for her children, and overcoming adversity. This narrative of resilience is central to her brand. It allows her to connect with a vulnerable audience seeking solace and solutions. But the question arises, how can Swithin rightfully defend her right to charge professional fees, while she denies this right to others? Swithin compares herself to other professionals who charge for their expertise. She insists that her lived experience doesn't negate her right to earn a living. The issue, however, is not about her business practices or transparency. It's about the double standard she applies to defenders of parental alienation. Swithin campaigns against parental alienation. She calls it a pseudoscience, and she attributes nefarious intent to those who think differently than her. She claims to advocate for the best interests of domestic violence victims, yet denies the same practice to others, labeling them profiteers while she remains a paragon of advocacy. The price of advocacy. Swithin's justification for charging fees. Swithin justifies her fees by claiming to advocate for domestic violence victims. She argues that just as lawyers, therapists, and mechanics charge for their services, she too possesses valuable knowledge and skills. Swithin emphasizes the time, energy, and resources she invests in supporting her clients. "I deserve to be compensated for my time and expertise," she asserts. A convenient double standard. Criticizing profit while seeking it. Swithin criticizes professionals for profiting from parental alienation, while also building her business around orchestrating a science denial campaign against parental alienation. She claims to work for free most of the time, but this lacks transparency. This double standard undermines her credibility and highlights inconsistencies. Section 4. The importance of transparency and advocacy. Transparency is a cornerstone of effective advocacy work. Sharing personal stories of struggle, sacrifice, and resilience can be powerful tools for connection and support. However, it is equally important to maintain transparency in financial practices and operations. Advocates can build trust by openly sharing how funds are used and the impact of their work. Addressing concerns and questions from the community fosters a sense of accountability. This approach helps to garner genuine support and deflects unwarranted criticism. By being transparent, advocates can encourage open dialogue and constructive feedback. On the other hand, double standards erode dialogue. Transparency ensures that the focus remains on the core mission and values of the advocacy work. Double standards promote science denial. Ultimately, maintaining transparency strengthens the credibility and effectiveness of advocacy efforts. Section 5. The unanswered questions. A need for accountability and evidence in advocacy. Swithin's explanation for charging for her services, when examined closely, highlights the importance of accountability and transparency in advocacy. While her emotional appeals and personal anecdotes resonate with many, they do not address the legitimate concerns surrounding her double standards and science denial tactics. Her criticism of other professionals suggests a need for greater consistency and fairness. Advocacy, especially on sensitive issues like parental alienation, should prioritize science and not ad hominem attacks. Ultimately, the questions raised about Swithin's practices highlight the delicate balance between genuine support and intellectual integrity and the risk of opportunistic profiteering in advocacy.